Have you ever noticed how some people live their entire lives trying to please everyone, yet in the end, they lose themselves? My friends, being kind is beautiful, but being soft to the point of losing your dignity is dangerous. Life is not about being a doormat for others. God has given each of us a mind, a voice, and a spirit full of strength. But too often, we silence our own needs just to keep others happy. We say yes when we want to say no. We tolerate disrespect in the name of kindness, and we confuse weakness with goodness. Today, I want to share with you why stop being soft to everyone is not just advice. It is a reminder to honor the dignity God has placed within you. True kindness does not mean allowing others to misuse your time, your energy, or your heart. It means standing firm with compassion, clarity, and courage. Kindness is strength, not weakness. But sadly, many of us misunderstand this. We live in a world where kindness is often mistaken for being soft, for being naive, for being someone who cannot stand up for themselves. People think, if I am kind, I will be taken for granted. If I am kind, people will misuse me. If I am kind, I will be seen as weak. But let me tell you, that is not kindness. That is weakness disguised as kindness. Real kindness is powerful, dignified, and courageous. Think of it this way. A tree that is strong enough to give shade is not weak. It has deep roots, it has survived storms, and yet it still offers its fruits, its flowers, and its shelter. Kindness is just like that. It is not about bowing down to everyone, it is about standing tall with compassion in your heart. In daily life, we often face situations where people test our patience. Imagine you are at work and a colleague makes a mistake. One option is to react harshly, to humiliate them, to show authority. That may look like strength, but it is not. Real strength is when you correct them with dignity, with calmness, and with understanding. You help them grow instead of tearing them down. That's kindness, and that is real power. But kindness doesn't mean you let people walk over you. Let me give you another example. Suppose a friend always comes to you when they are in trouble. You help them again and again, but they never learn to solve their own problems. At some point, if you continue helping blindly, you are not being kind anymore. You are feeding their weakness. The stronger kindness is when you say, I care for you, but now you need to stand on your own feet. I believe in you. That kindness requires courage because it is easier to just keep saying yes. But true kindness gives others the gift of responsibility, not dependence. Every time you hold yourself back from reacting with anger, that is strength. Every time you choose patience instead of frustration, that is strength. And every time you forgive someone not because they deserve it, but because you value your own peace, that is strength. Weak people cannot forgive, weak people cannot stay patient, and weak people cannot remain calm in the middle of a storm. Only the strong can do that. Look at the life around you. Parents show the strength of kindness every single day. A mother may wake up at 4 a.m., tired, exhausted, but still prepare food for her children with love. Does that look like weakness? No, that is incredible strength. She sacrifices her sleep, her comfort, and her ease because her kindness is backed by strength. That is why kindness must never be underestimated. Even in leadership, kindness is the most powerful tool. A boss who rules with fear may get work done for a short time, but the hearts of the employees will be closed. On the other hand, a leader who is kind, who motivates, who guides, who listens, wins loyalty, respect, and long-term success. Kindness does not make them weak, it makes them unforgettable. But here is the most important part. Kindness must start with yourself. Too often, we are kind to everyone except our own soul. We forgive others, but we don't forgive ourselves. We encourage others, but we criticize ourselves harshly. We give others time, but we deny ourselves rest. My friends, being kind to yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. When you are kind to yourself, you recharge your inner strength, and then you can spread kindness without burning out. So, next time someone tells you that being kind is a weakness, remember, kindness is not about being soft. It is about being strong enough to stay compassionate in a world that often pushes you to be cold. Anyone can shout, anyone can insult, anyone can hurt. But it takes true power to smile when you could frown, to forgive when you could take revenge, to uplift when you could tear down. That is the courage of kindness. I want you to think of one situation in your life where you reacted in anger and later regretted it. If you had responded with kindness instead, would the outcome have been more peaceful? Now think of a situation where you chose kindness and ask yourself, did it make you weaker or did it give you more respect in the eyes of others? The truth is, people may forget your power, people may forget your achievements, but they will never forget how your kindness made them feel. So, let us never confuse weakness with kindness again. Weakness gives in to pressure. Kindness stands tall in dignity. Weakness bends out of fear. Kindness bends out of love. Weakness avoids challenges. Kindness faces them with a smile. This is the strength the world needs, and this is the strength God has placed inside each of us. How many times in life have you said yes when deep inside your heart you wanted to say no? Think about it. We agree to attend events we don't want to go to. We accept extra responsibilities when we're already exhausted. We lend money we can't afford, and we help people even when we know they are misusing our generosity. Why? Because we are afraid of disappointing others. We think, if I say no, they will feel bad. If I say no, they will stop liking me. If I say no, they will think I am selfish. And slowly, without even realizing it, we betray ourselves in the name of being good to others. But let me remind you, every unnecessary yes to someone else is actually a no to yourself. And when you say no to yourself again and again, you are not being kind, you are being unfair to your own soul. Let me give you a daily life example. Imagine your colleague asks you to cover their work shift. You are already tired, you have your own deadlines, and you desperately need rest. But out of fear of being seen as unhelpful, you say yes. You push yourself beyond your limit. You complete their work, but at the cost of your own peace. At the end of the day, you are drained, irritable, and silently angry at yourself for not having the courage to say no. Tell me, who really suffered here? Not your colleague. You did. Now imagine a different scenario. The same colleague asks you for help, but this time you take a deep breath and politely say, I'm sorry, I won't be able to manage it today. I have my own work to complete. At first you may feel guilty, but later you feel light. You feel honest, you feel true to yourself. And do you know what happens? People may be disappointed in the short run, but in the long run, they respect those who are clear and firm. Saying no does not make you unkind. Saying no does not make you selfish. Saying no means you respect your time, your health, and your priorities. People who cannot say no become victims of burnout, stress, and resentment. They smile on the outside, but they are broken on the inside. Let's look at another example from relationships. Sometimes, in friendships or family, people demand more than we can give. They may expect you to always be available, to sacrifice your needs, to drop everything whenever they call. Out of love, you say yes again and again. But slowly, you notice something. The more you say yes, the more they expect. And the more they expect, the more drained you feel. At some point, this cycle becomes toxic. Here, saying no is not rejection, it is protection. Protection of your energy, your dignity, and your balance in life. Learning to say no is not about being rude. It is about being clear. A polite no is better than a dishonest yes. If you agree to something half-heartedly, you carry bitterness. But if you say no honestly, you carry freedom. Remember this. Truth may hurt temporarily, but dishonesty hurts forever. Even in spirituality, we see the importance of saying no. Great souls and wise teachers have shown us that discipline requires refusal. To grow, you must say no to distractions. To succeed, you must say no to laziness. To protect peace, you must say no to toxic influences. Life is not about how many things you agree to. It is about how many unnecessary things you refuse, so you can focus on what really matters. The fear of saying no comes from the desire to be liked by everyone. But let me tell you a secret. No matter how many yeses you say, someone will still dislike you. So why waste your energy trying to please everyone? Live with authenticity, not approval. When you are authentic, you attract the right people into your life. People who value you for your honesty, not for your availability. I want you to reflect for a moment. How many times in the last week did you say yes when you wanted to say no? How did it make you feel? Did it bring peace or frustration? Now imagine if you had chosen courage and politely said no. Wouldn't you have saved yourself from unnecessary stress? Wouldn't you have felt lighter, freer, and stronger? Saying no is not closing doors, it is opening the right ones. When you say no to what drains you, you make space to say yes to what inspires you. When you say no to what wastes your time, you make space to say yes to your growth, your family, your health, and your dreams. My friends, life is short. Don't spend it being a prisoner of unwanted yeses. Train your tongue to say no with grace, with calmness, and with love. People may resist in the beginning, but they will eventually understand. More importantly, you will start respecting yourself. And when you respect yourself, the world learns to respect you too. So the next time your heart whispers no, have the courage to listen. Don't silence that voice. Don't betray your own soul. Because a life full of false yeses is not a life of kindness. It is a life of slavery. But a life with honest boundaries is a life of dignity, strength, and true freedom. Boundaries are sacred. Without them, your life becomes like a house with open doors. Anyone can walk in, rearrange your furniture, and take away your peace. You see, boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about protecting what matters most within you. Just like every nation has borders, every person must have personal borders too. Lines that say, this is who I am, this is what I allow, and this is what I will not tolerate. Many of us struggle because we confuse kindness with unlimited access. We think, if I truly love someone, I must always be available. If I am truly good, I should never say no. If I am spiritual, I should tolerate everything. But this is not kindness, nor is it goodness. This is self-neglect. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are acts of self-respect. Think about your phone battery. No matter how advanced it is, if you keep using it without recharging, it will die. And when it dies, it serves no purpose. Similarly, when you allow everyone to constantly drain your energy, your patience, your resources without recharging yourself, you collapse. Boundaries are the charger of your inner strength. They allow you to give, but also to preserve. Let me give you a simple daily life example. Imagine you are working from home. A friend suddenly calls and says, I am outside your house, let's hang out. You have a deadline, your work is pending, but out of fear of disappointing them, you say, okay, come in. The result, you lose focus, your work suffers, and you end the day feeling frustrated with yourself. This is what happens when you don't protect your boundaries. But if you politely say, I can't meet today, I have important work, let's plan another time, you protect your time, your energy, and your priorities. That is what a healthy boundary looks like. Boundaries are not walls of arrogance, they are fences of respect. Imagine a beautiful garden. To protect the flowers from being trampled, you put up a fence. The fence does not say, no one can enter. The fence simply says, enter respectfully, do not destroy what is delicate. In the same way, when you create boundaries, you are not rejecting people, you are simply teaching them how to treat you. Sometimes, the people closest to us challenge our boundaries the most. Family members, friends, or colleagues may expect unlimited access to our time, money, or attention. They may say things like, if you really cared about me, you would do this for me. And out of guilt, we give in. But here's the truth. Love without boundaries is not love, it is slavery. If people truly love you, they will respect your limits. If they don't respect them, then what they call love is actually control. Even in relationships, our boundaries are essential. A partner who checks your phone without permission, questions every step you take, or demands all your time is not respecting boundaries. Many people think that love means giving yourself completely, but love without boundaries turns into suffocation. Healthy love says, I trust you, I give you space, and I respect your individuality. Boundaries create freedom, and freedom creates deeper love. Workplaces also demand boundaries. If you never say no to extra tasks, your boss or colleagues will assume you can handle unlimited work. Soon, you'll be exhausted while others are relaxed. On the other hand, if you respectfully communicate your limits, I can complete this much by today and the rest by tomorrow, people begin to respect your time. Boundaries at work are not laziness, they are clarity. Let me share something deeper. Even in spirituality, boundaries exist. The sun gives light and warmth, but does it ever come too close to burn the earth? No, the ocean gives water and beauty, but does it ever cross its shorelines? No. Nature itself teaches us that strength flows within limits. Boundaries keep balance in creation, and they keep balance in our lives. Often, people fear setting boundaries because they worry about being judged. They think, if I say no, they will think I am selfish. But my friends, let me ask you, what is better, being judged by others for a short while, or betraying yourself for a lifetime? Every time you break your own boundary to please others, you lose a little bit of yourself, and slowly resentment builds up. You begin to feel used, unappreciated, and invisible. But when you set boundaries, you feel empowered, respected, and alive. So how do we practice boundaries in daily life? First, by listening to your inner voice. If something feels heavy, draining, or disrespectful, it means your boundary is being crossed. Second, by expressing your boundary clearly and calmly. You don't need to shout or fight. A simple, I'm not comfortable with this, is enough. Third, by staying consistent. If you break your own boundary once, people will assume they can push it again. Boundaries are sacred because they guard your peace, your dignity, and your values. Without them, you are like a river floating everywhere, uncontrolled, directionless, destructive. With them, you are like a river flowing between its banks, powerful, purposeful, and life-giving. Remember this, When you set a boundary, you are not saying, I don't care about you. You are saying, I care about myself too. And when you care about yourself, you are able to give love and kindness in a healthier, stronger, and more sustainable way. So, never feel guilty for drawing the line. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are sacred. They are the invisible walls that protect your inner temple, your mind, your heart, your soul. Without them, you lose yourself. With them, you discover your true strength. People respect what you respect in yourself. This truth is so simple, yet so powerful. The way you treat yourself becomes the manual that teaches others how to treat you. If you carry yourself with dignity, people will respond with dignity. If you constantly put yourself down, people will follow that pattern and treat you the same way. Respect always begins within, in the way you value your time, your words, your choices, and your life. Let me give you a daily example. Imagine you are at work and you finish your tasks diligently. But instead of leaving on time, you stay back late every single day, covering for others who don't complete their work. Soon, your boss and colleagues begin to expect this from you. Why? Because you have shown them that your time is not valuable, that you don't mind sacrificing endlessly. The day you finally want to leave on time, they may look at you with surprise and even annoyance. Why? Because you trained them to disrespect your own boundaries by disrespecting your time first. Now imagine the opposite. You work with focus, you deliver quality, and you leave on time. When someone asks you to stay back unnecessarily, you politely say, I have already completed my responsibilities. I will continue tomorrow. Slowly, people realize your time matters. And because you respect it, they begin to respect it too. In relationships, the same principle applies. If you constantly allow someone to speak to you rudely, if you keep tolerating their insults in silence, they will assume it is acceptable. Not because they are necessarily cruel, but because you have silently given permission. But the day you calmly say, I will not allow you to speak to me this way, the equation changes. You don't need to shout. You don't need to fight. Your calm firmness itself becomes your shield. People quickly learn that if they want your presence, they must meet you with respect. Think about this in terms of self-image as well. If you always criticize yourself in front of others, I am so useless, I can't do anything right, I'm just unlucky, people will take those words as truth. They will begin to see you the way you see yourself. But if you speak with confidence, if you highlight your strengths, if you walk with self-belief, then even those who doubted you will start believing in you. People mirror what you project. If you project low value, you get treated cheaply. If you project high value, you are treated like someone valuable. Even in spiritual practice, this holds true. When you respect your own peace of mind, people begin to give you space for it. For example, if you decide to dedicate 10 minutes each morning to meditation or prayer, and you hold firm to that practice, no matter what, people around you slowly adjust. At first, they may laugh, they may interrupt, they may not take you seriously. But when they see your consistency, they begin to protect that space for you. Why? Because you respected it so much that they had no choice but to respect it too. Let me share another example. Picture a student in a classroom. If the student always keeps quiet, never asks questions, and accepts everything without clarity, teachers and peers may overlook them. But if the same student raises their hand, asks for clarification, and shows seriousness, suddenly the teacher pays attention. Respect grows when you show that you value your own learning. Respect also applies to health. If you constantly neglect your body, eat recklessly, and never care for your well being, people around you will assume you don't value health. They may even push unhealthy habits on you because they see no resistance. But if you are firm about your well being, no, I don't smoke. No, I won't skip my walk. Yes, I need to rest. People begin to acknowledge and even admire your discipline. The world notices what you notice in yourself. But here's something important. Respecting yourself does not mean arrogance. Arrogance demands respect from others without earning it. Self-respect is quiet dignity. It does not shout, it does not boast, it simply lives with clarity. Arrogance says, I am better than you. Self-respect says, I am valuable, just as you are. And that balance is what makes people naturally drawn to you. Sometimes people wait for respect from others without giving it to themselves first. They wait for recognition, appreciation, and validation, thinking, when people see my worth, then I will feel worthy. But life works the other way around. You must see your worth first. You must walk into the room with your head high, not in pride, but in quiet confidence. You must carry yourself as someone who matters, because you do matter. Then people will reflect that back to you. Think of a priceless diamond. Even if it is small, it is treated with care. Why? Because everyone knows its value. Now imagine the same diamond tossed carelessly on the street, stepped on, and ignored. Its value hasn't changed, but its treatment has. The way it is placed changes the way people handle it. Similarly, your value as a soul is immense, but if you place yourself in situations where you are ignored, misused, or undervalued, people will treat you accordingly. Place yourself with dignity, and dignity will follow. So ask yourself, what areas of your life are you not respecting enough? Is it your time, your energy, your voice, your dreams? Wherever you lower your own value, others will too. But wherever you raise it, others will rise with you. Respect begins within. It flows into your words, your posture, your choices, and your life. When you respect yourself, people cannot help but respect you. And when you neglect yourself, people cannot help but neglect you. So live in a way that teaches others how to treat you. Show them through your actions that your time matters, your peace matters, your dreams matter, and above all, your dignity matters. Because in the end, people respect what you respect in yourself.